Hey, what's going on, guys? Lag here. Thank you for joining me today for a Nioh 2 build video. Alright guys, in today's video I'll be sharing with you all my SWITCHGLAIVE build for the Dream of the Wise difficulty. Starting off with this particular clan, I'm in the Takanaka clan. And as you can see, you get extra melee damage when enemies are suffering from status effects. And you also get a bit of extra skill key damage whenever you perform active skills. Alright, moving on, let's go ahead and go to my stats. Alright, so starting off with my stats, as you can see, I'm currently at 550, which is level cap right now in this particular patch. I have my Constitution and Courage balanced out because I am using the split staff on this particular setup as well. This is one of my personal setups I created for this particular difficulty. So, and I have both Constitution and Courage balanced out at 126. I have my heart just sitting at 100. If you don't know, Courage does scale with the split staff. So if you didn't know, now you know. Stamina, you could probably lower that down a little bit more because whenever I do my builds, I try to just basically get my agility to about 70%. So I just left it at 15 to be safer right now. Strength doesn't matter really. Skill, dexterity, you don't really have to sweat that too much. But you do want to make sure your magic, if you are at 550, pump that all the way out to 200. And this is exactly for any of you guys that's new to Nioh. This cap at 200 is exactly what it's like in Nioh 1, so I assume they're going to do the same thing for Nioh 2. So, it could surprise us in the last patch, I don't know. Alright, anyway, let me go ahead and go to my other stats. Alright, so these are my custom active skills, passives for my SWITCHGLAIVE. And as you can see, if for whatever reason you are not familiar with all the talents in the game right now, one of those talents that we are able to get allows you to use 2 Mystic Arts. And I'll explain what that talent is, like I said, if you are not familiar with all the talents. But as you can see, I am using Wi-Fi and Tempest. They're both currently active. Alright, so I'm just go ahead and slow and let you set up. Nothing special, like I said in a few of my videos in the past, this is all personal preference. There's no special reason why I have it set up like this at all. On to the passives. Alright, now all my passives, as you can see, basically, you know, all of them almost unlocked, but you want to make sure you pay close attention to these two, of course, because like I said, I'm using a specific talent to allow me to use both of these Mystic Arts, so just keep in mind, definitely make sure you unlock both of these. Alright, moving on. I'm going to go ahead and start with my equipment now. Alright, so starting off with my SWITCHGLAIVE, I'm using the Watsumi's watch. This is a water SWITCHGLAIVE, the highest base attack modifier. This one dropped with star attack bonus magic. And like I said earlier about the ability to use 2 Mystic Arts, that ability is simply called Mystic Dyad. And this works for any weapon. As you can see, if you, like I said, are familiar with it. There you go. And now I'm using the Grace of Susanoo set. As you can see, for the 6-piece bonus, I'm simply getting the exact same bonus that you will be able to get with Benzeitans. I am pretty aware of most of the Graces I've come across and their bonuses, and I felt like for this particular setup that this would be the best overall choice for me for my overall damage. Alright, going on. Using Jonas Split Staff. This is my Split Staff. Your rolls don't have to be like this if you don't want. Just personal preference. You want to make sure you have either Susanoo or the other Grace I'm using as ranged weapons, so you can get your bonuses. Alright, starting off, this is my mask. As you can see, I'm using Tengu's mask, and I like using this mask because it helps out with recovering your anima whenever you use yōkai abilities. Alright, my rolls are such, nothing special really. Omni magic power key, elemental weapon damage star roll. Increased attack, which is one of the newer rolls we're allowed to get in the game right now on your armor. And the Grace I'm using for the other Grace I'm using is, I don't want to chop that word up, so I'm gonna just say Su. Anyway, I'm using the entire bonus all the bonuses for this grace. This is like right now one of my favorite graces, and as you can see, here you are. In my opinion, this is the best grace for any weapon that revolves around magic, such as the SWITCHGLAIVE or the splitstaff. I mean, this is awesome because basically whenever you toss out Omni items, you're getting the same effect that you would get from the Gimme Omnio set. And also, in addition to that, you get this new bonus right here. And that is pretty nice from what I'm seeing. That's very interesting. And they also have a ninjutsu set that's basically the same as this. It's just not Omnio, so I think it's called Mirichi's. So. Alright, anyway, here we go. Going on to my chest piece. Alright, nothing special. One of the newer rolls you can get also is melee attack key consumption on your chest. Alright, nothing special there. Everything else, as you can see, is all personal preference. We are allowed to get our attack up to at least, it looks like 40 now. So, and dodge range up. One of the newer abilities we're allowed to get on. I'm sorry, not abilities. One of the newer talents we're allowed to get on our gear. This is all personal preference. You don't have to have this like this if you decide to try out the setup. Alright, now, as far as your charms go, guys, we want to make sure you keep pay close attention to your charms. I wouldn't recommend throwing away any ethereal charms at all. So just pay close attention to that. I didn't get saturated on this particular charm, so that's what I have right now. So technically, I'm actually not hitting as hard as I potentially can because I don't have melee damage versus saturated enemy. So. And it's also the same for my Yasukani as well. Alright, now, let me mention one thing right quick as well before I forget. I stated earlier in the video that I wanted to explain to you guys why you want to make sure that you're using Soul Purge at all times now. It's right here because of this talent. Familiarity bonus. As you can see, that bonus is on this particular charm at 49%. But not only can you get on your charms, you can get on your weapons as well. I haven't noticed it on armor. But if you get this on your weapons, if you get this on your weapon in both charms, you'll be sitting at about 150%. You don't necessarily, in my opinion, need 150%, but you want to try to get at least 100%. And why I say that is because whenever you used to use Soul Purge, in my opinion, it was only for certain situations. But now with this ability, you can use Soul Purge, in my opinion, as much as you want because you get it back so fast when you kill an enemy. So in other words, back in the day when you would play, you would have to kill like maybe 10 or 20 enemies or so to get all your familiarity back. Well, not anymore. Now, you can probably kill about 2 or 3 enemies and you have it back. So you can use basically Soul Purge like a normal charm, basically. You can't spam it, but it's more readily available to be used now. So I recommend using familiarity on all your pieces that you can use it on. So make sure you throw that on there. And that's just not for this setup. That's for any build, in my opinion. Because Soul Purge is it's a nice damage buff. So. And also, they lowered the cap on how much it requires Omnia points to use on your setup whenever you, what was it, 3.3 in the past? Now it's at 1. So that's a buff to me. So, alright. Anyway, other than that, this is grace on my charm. Alright, moving on. This is my scroll. Our ethereal scroll. And this one came with damage bonus, magic, just basically the same bonus that you would get from Black Fox Mask. And also, if you notice here, you can get ethereal rolls, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and go down to that one for a second. As you can see, what it allows you to do, basically allows you to use 2 magic mental items. So both, of them at the same time. Alright, if you're not familiar with this ability right here, this is one of the new gear set bonuses, but I was able to get it on this specific scroll. There's one for humans and there's one for yōkai, and I was able to get this one right here. So. Moving on. As far as my Omni items, nothing special here. Basically, I use the same thing all the time in most of my builds, except with the exception of this. I actually been toying around with this a little bit. But yeah, but other than that, everything else is basically the same stuff I use normally. Alright, now, as far as my new Guardian Spirit I'm using, this is one of the newer Guardian Spirits you get from the DLC. And I think this Guardian Spirit works well with this setup because it will in fact get extra elemental weapon damage. And it helps out with Omni build up whenever you toss some magic out, you know, so. And I do like to put the enemy in confused states. And my secondary Guardian Spirit is Ho, so that's my secondary talent, as you can see on the bottom. Confuse enemies. Help out with animal build up. Even though I like to use the cats. Nothing the pepper, nothing special. Maybe rank these up to rank 20, but at the time I just wanted to get these 10, so 9, whatever. And one of the newer roles I noticed as well on some of the soul cores you get is it specifies type of yokai form you can get the damage in. So like Phantom, Hero, Brute. Alright, and this right here, I actually like this soul core a lot. It's basically acts like Sloth, and you don't have to worry about using Omni items to make this work for you. Alright, that's it. Other than that, that's all I'm gonna that's all I have right now for this particular setup. I am working on a fist belt, but it's not ready yet, at least in my opinion. I just want to make sure my damage numbers are right because it's an awesome weapon. Actually, that's my third favorite weapon right now in the game, besides the tonfa and the SWITCHGLAIVE. So I just really want to make sure that everything is right on that particular setup. So I was going to release it, but I said, you know what, it's not right. So I just held off, and I will be releasing that eventually. Just want to, you know, a couple more days or so to get that right, or at least to make sure it, you know, feels absolutely right to me. So, all right, man. But that's it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. You know, I know a lot of you guys like my SWITCHGLAIVE setup. Hopefully this one works out well for you. Again, I am 550, so if you're like 3 or 5 or something like that, don't expect to do 550 numbers. You know what I mean? So, all right. But other than that, you guys be safe, and I'll catch y'all later.